So if I could give out advice to my little self, I would tell myself, do not date. Do not date. And I know some people may have an issue with that. I have been attacked so much for this sentiment, but I'll tell you how I got it. So first of all, let me start off by saying I'm a musician, but I'm also a sociologist. I graduated from the top university in the country for sociology. If you're new here, I was one of the best students in my class. On top of that, I have 4 additional degrees related to behavioral science, economics, teaching, business and accounting, etc. So because of this, everything I'm about to say in this video can be academically backed up. But at the same time, I'm going to include primarily my own personal opinions, my own personal experiences, okay? We're not going to go in too deep into all of the nooks and crannies, academic research, academic rigor, and going through a full academic analysis, because I think that would be kind of boring to do on this particular tape. I'm going to share my personal experience, which aligns with the experience of many others. So, as a young Black woman in America who was very sweet, very innocent, so I was raised in a background where we didn't see color. And I don't mean it in the new school way where that term's been politicized. I mean, I grew up in a very diverse suburb where I was kind of taught that we were in a post-racial time, or at least that we were heading in that direction. So every time something would happen to me, like discrimination or something like that, I always blame myself. I always saw it as I must have did something wrong. I should have been nicer. I should have been more polite. I should have been more, reserved. Like, there was never a reason. It got to a point to where things just stopped making sense. Like, I did everything right in terms of I was sweet, I was nice, I was gentle, I was kind, I was presentable, I dressed the right way, I did this, I did that. It didn't matter. It was because of color, right? So getting to the dating thing, I've always had struggles dating because of intersectionality. And what that basically means is belonging to multiple categories at the same time, okay? Being Black, being a woman, definitely being into the stuff that I was into in terms of music. I do rock music, I do punk rock music, alternative. I have a variety of interests. I like to explore certain fields and certain things that are not considered to be things that stereotypically you would see Black women do. Okay? So when I started dating, I ran into a tremendous amount of problems. A tremendous amount. And I literally tried everything. I tried screening the people, making sure we had all these different things in common, making sure that the vibes were good, making sure that the chemistry was good. I tried dating different types of people. I tried all different types of dating strategies and techniques. And what I found is typically when you are a Black woman and you're dating someone, you are seeing through a lens that is extremely distorted. A lot of times on my dates, I had to spend the majority of my dates trying to prove that I was even real. You're not supposed to like this. You're not supposed to like that. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. And I got so tired of having to defend myself against these accusations that it's just like, okay, I'll prove it to you and then that's it. I'm done. Like, I'll prove to you that, yeah, I do like these movies. I do like these books. I do these things. But after that, I'm done. Because a lot of people saw Black women as coming through a certain lens, and this includes Black men as well. There are so many layers to race in this country, and I'm going to tell you it's a real thing. If you are a Black woman and you are struggling to date, it's not your fault. But ironically, Black women have been blamed for the struggles in society. It's gotten to a point where it's gotten so bad that when I go to talk about anything to do with my experience, I feel like, am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say this? Because there's been so much of a systematic denial for racism and blaming the person. Not looking at things like cognitive biases and confirmation biases, which are very real things. Meaning, if you don't align to somebody's preconceived notion of what they think you are supposed to be, instead of going through and getting to know you and understanding and being more open, they outright dismiss you, or they say it's not real. They say it's not real. For example, on my music page, I had so many people, hundreds if not thousands, accuse me of being AI or accuse me of being synthetic, because they're like, there's no way that you're playing that, you're doing that, you didn't write those songs, you didn't do that, that's not you singing. And if you can only imagine, in dating, it's been really similar to that. I go to share my interest. No, you don't do that. Even things about black hair. I stopped wearing wigs a few years ago. I used to wear them from time to time for fun, just to dress up. You know, I bleach my hair sometimes, I color it sometimes, but that does a lot of damage to my hair because it's naturally pretty dry. So when I bleach it and dye it and color it, it can make my hair start to break off and stuff like that. So instead I thought, hey, let me get some blonde wigs, some blue wigs, some different colors, and put them on when I want to dress up every now and again. And I was attacked so much on social media because of that. Just for wearing wigs, having fun, dressing up. So now I have my natural hair, and I've even had people point out weird accusations and criticisms about that. Accusing me of wearing wigs. Accusing me of doing stuff to my hair that I don't do. How do I get my hair this straight? I use a flat iron. Not a big deal. Why do I use a flat iron? Because I have really curly hair. Really, really thick curly hair, and it makes it to where my hair doesn't get as tangled as easily. But that's what I mean. The fact that I have to go these extra steps to even explain things like this. It's absolutely insidious and insane. I would tell women in general because of how polarized and politicized everything is right now, I don't agree with dating. I personally found for myself, and I know a lot of people don't like this, I was way happier when I stopped dating. Way happier, because the entire time I dealt with so much hostility. Unfortunately, they have negative stigmas about black women. And so as a result, sexual harassment for black women reported is higher. And that is seen by some people to be okay. Even going out on dates, I've experienced so much stigmatization where people feel like it's okay to grab on me or to try to push for intimacy and things like that way earlier than they would with someone else. And it doesn't matter how I'm dressed and that's what I mean. I always have to blame myself. Oh, it's because I wore a dress. Oh, it's because I wore makeup. Oh, it's because I should have did this. I changed those variables. It doesn't matter, because the stigma of black women is still there. If I could go back to my littler self, I would say to not date at all, and instead to just focus on money, saving money, and going to school and getting educated. But be prepared, because in my experience, once I got the degrees, that's when I started to see a lot of people's true colors. Dating got even harder. This is also not abnormal. Actually, one of the reports that I did in school, it was a very difficult report for me to do, showed how a lot of times the most educated black women have the most difficult times finding relationships. Black women are the only group where the higher the education, the harder it is to find someone in a serious relationship. For everybody else, it goes up. Asian, Caucasian, if you go out on a date and you're highly educated, your marriage options are the same or improved. If you're a black woman, they go down dramatically. And there are a few reasons for that without going into all the sociological reasons. But I found that when I graduated from college and I started dating, a lot of the guys were intimidated because they felt like I was supposed to be dumb, or they felt like I was supposed to be intellectually or academically their inferior. And when I had credentials to back that up, instead of being met with warmth and instead of being met with, oh, that's cool, oh, that's cool, you learned this or that, I was being shamed for it. I'm actually quite conservative, but they would tell me, oh, you're one of those social justice warriors then. Oh, you're a feminist. Feminist? I'm actually a very traditional type of woman. Like, what do you mean? I just wanted to have a nice family. And you know, the reason why I went to school, here's the scary part. Not only was it a goal because I wanted to expand my knowledge on sociology and psychology, but the other reason why I went to school, outside of a passion and liking to learn, was because our economy has gotten tougher. And I felt like having a bachelor's degree or more would help increase job opportunities. So when I did finally get married, I would be able to contribute more and I would be able to have a little bit more time without having to worry about working lower paying jobs where there's less time with the child, etc. I did it so I'd be able in part to contribute more. So immediately once I graduated, I started dating, and it was absolutely horrific. It was horrific. So if you do want to date, I would suggest doing it overseas. If you can, if you have the ability to. If you're in this country though, if you're in America, make sure to know who you are, and you do actually have to be a little bit more guarded. You do. And don't let anybody tell you you don't. Don't let anybody say that, oh no, like you can just... Don't let anybody tell you that it's the same. It's not. Be on your guard more. Be extra cautious. Take precautions. And don't trust anyone. Talk to you later. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.